Welcome to Dusk and Dreams. I'm Yarrow, your companion through the nighttime quiet. Tonight, we're exploring something so many of us face, but rarely talk about: nighttime anxiety. Those moments when the world quiets down, and instead of peace, your thoughts get louder. Your chest might feel tight, your breath shallow. You toss, you turn. The clock ticks on, mocking the minutes. I've been there too, feeling that familiar, frustrating swirl. And tonight, I want to talk about it, gently, with curiosity, and with a few powerful tools that may just help you find a little more ease. I'm not a licensed psychologist, but my journey through life, coupled with years of studying psychology and practicing these techniques firsthand, has given me a deep understanding. This episode weaves that knowledge with real experience, my own, and what I've learned from others, to help you understand why anxiety seems to bloom specifically at night, and how you can craft simple, effective rituals that truly invite rest. So let's get comfortable, breathe deep, and walk into the heart of this night together. It's strange, isn't it? All day long, we juggle responsibilities, decisions, and countless distractions. But the moment our head hits the pillow, thoughts we never invited start pouring in. Some are familiar: the meeting tomorrow, a decision we regret, a relationship we're questioning. Others seem to come out of nowhere, popping up uninvited. There's a clear reason for that. During the day, your attention is constantly pulled outward by the world around you. Your focus is on tasks, conversations, and the noise of daily life. But at night, the distractions fade, the lights dim, the world goes still. And when that external noise quiets down, your inner world speaks up. For many of us, that voice can quickly become anxious. From a biological perspective, our brain is in a different mode at night. Melatonin levels, the hormone that makes us sleepy, start to rise, but our body hasn't yet fully settled into deep rest. If your nervous system is still on high alert, perhaps from too much caffeine, late night scrolling through bright screens, unresolved emotional stress, or simply a day that didn't feel complete, you can find yourself locked in limbo, mentally exhausted, but too wound up to sleep. This quickly becomes a difficult, frustrating cycle. You can't sleep because you're anxious. You're anxious because you can't sleep. And around we go. Tonight, we're going to gently interrupt that cycle. First, let's shift into some practical tools that can help. These aren't magic cures, but rather invitations to calm. Think of them as small, kind gestures you can offer your nervous system. While you might have heard of techniques like brain dumps or positive self-talk, which are certainly valid, I want to share a few practices I personally use or recommend to others that offer a slightly different, perhaps deeper approach to navigating nighttime anxiety. First up, the night's offering, intentional release. This ritual draws on ancient ideas of making an offering to a larger force. Before bed, stand or sit quietly by an open window, or simply face the dark. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. With each exhale, imagine releasing one specific worry, one tension, or one overwhelming feeling into the vastness of the night. You're not casting it away forever, but simply offering it up to the night to hold for a while. You might even whisper a silent phrase like, "Night, hold this worry for me," or "I release this tension to the wind." This symbolic act acknowledges the presence of the anxiety without letting it consume you. It empowers you to consciously choose to let go, trusting the night to witness your release. When you return to bed, it's with a lighter mind, having intentionally created space. The next calming tool is the vessel of release, symbolic transfer. Sometimes simply speaking or thinking thoughts isn't enough. We need a more tangible act of release. I call this the vessel of release. Find a small, natural object you can hold in your hand. A smooth pebble, a piece of dried lavender, a small wooden bead. Before you try to sleep, hold this object. Gently breathe, and with each breath, imagine transferring one anxious thought, one unresolved worry, or one overwhelming feeling from your mind into that object. Feel it move from your head, down your arm, and into the stone or herb. When you feel ready, place the object in a designated bowl or on a specific surface away from your bed, as if you are symbolically depositing your worries there for the night. You can retrieve it in the morning if needed, but for now, you've given those thoughts a physical place to rest outside of yourself, releasing their immediate hold. Another one is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. This technique is wonderful for pulling you out of spiraling thought loops and firmly anchoring you in the present moment. Slowly notice the following. 5 things you can see around you. Maybe the pattern on your blanket, the shadow of a tree outside your window. 4 things you can physically feel. The texture of your pillow, the weight of your body on the bed, the temperature of the air. 3 things you can hear, even subtle ones. Your own breath, the distant hum of the refrigerator, a faint rustle outside. 2 things you can smell, your pillow, a subtle scent in the room. 1 thing you can taste, perhaps the lingering taste from your last drink. This simple sensory reset can work wonders when you feel like your mind is racing without direction. Another great tool is the 4-7-8 breath. This breathing exercise is like a secret handshake with your nervous system. Breathe in deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it gently for 7 seconds. Exhale fully and slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat this cycle for just a few minutes. This specific breath rhythm helps activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the part of your body that governs rest, digestion, and deep relaxation. It tells your body, it's safe to calm down now. The final technique I'd like to share tonight is the ancestral whisper, tapping into inner wisdom. Instead of just talking to yourself, let's try something more expansive. The ancestral whisper. Imagine, if you will, that within you resides a deep well of ancient calm wisdom, the accumulated resilience of generations before you. When anxiety stirs, instead of arguing with your thoughts, gently turn inward and ask that inner wisdom for a whisper of guidance or comfort. This isn't about finding a logical answer, but rather it's about a feeling of profound support. You might place a hand on your heart and the other on your belly. Breathe deep and simply listen for a quiet reassurance. It could be a simple, nonverbal sense of calm, or a gentle phrase like, "You are held," or "This moment will pass." This taps into a deeper, timeless knowing, inviting a broader sense of peace than just your individual self trying to manage anxiety. Let's get into establishing an optimal nighttime ritual now. As some of you may know, our bodies and brains absolutely love routine. They respond to pattern and familiarity. So creating a consistent pre-sleep ritual isn't just indulgent. It's actually supported by neuroscience. It signals to your body that it's time to transition to rest. One of the best ways is to set a wind-down cue. I found that starting 45 to 60 minutes before bed is optimal, but try a few different time periods out. Then settle on whatever standard works best for you. This is your body's cue to begin the descent. Dim the lights, not just overhead, but also device screens and ambient glare. Shift to warm tones, or amber lighting if possible. This gradual change helps signal the pineal gland to start producing melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. Next, unplug mentally. This could be curling up with a favorite passage from a comforting book, or engaging in a mindful ritual like brewing tea, stretching slowly, listening to a guided reflection, or tracing thoughts in a journal. If words feel too stimulating, try candle gazing, a meditative practice from various traditions where you focus on the flicker of flame for a few minutes, or engage in a quiet sensory habit, brushing your hair slowly, massaging your feet, or anointing your temples with a calming essential oil blend. Whatever you choose, the goal is the same, signaling your brain, we're safe, the day is done. This transition ritual doesn't need to be elaborate, but it should be intentional, repeated, and rooted in comfort. Make it yours. Next, add soothing sensory anchors. Scents like lavender or cedarwood can activate calming brain responses, but you can also explore more ancient aromatics like frankincense, vetiver, or mugwort, each historically used to promote sleep and dreams. Herbal teas such as chamomile, lemon balm, passion flower, and valerian root gently support relaxation, with some cultures swearing by combinations like tulsi and ashwagandha. You might also try a warm mug of golden milk, an ancient Ayurvedic blend of milk, or a plant-based alternative, turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, a bit of black pepper, which helps the body absorb curcumin from the turmeric, and a dash of honey. Golden milk is known for its anti-inflammatory and calming properties, and it's a beautiful, cozy ritual for winding down. Beyond tea, a spoonful of raw honey alone can help stabilize blood sugar and calm the liver's nighttime processing. Soft blankets with light but weighted pressure can trigger a sense of safety. Use dim amber light bulbs next to bedside lamps instead of LEDs, and set the room temperature a few degrees cooler than daytime levels, mimicking the body's natural circadian signals for rest. One of the critical components is your sleep space itself. It should be a sanctuary, a haven for rest, not just visually calm, but energetically supportive. Begin by clearing visual and physical clutter, as scattered surroundings often mirror a scattered mind. Try to keep your sleeping area distinct from work or high stimulation zones. If possible, avoid working from your bed entirely. Our brains form strong associations with place, and we want your bed to feel like a place of rest, not productivity. Try adding elements that ground you emotionally. Choose objects that aren't just calming, but personally resonant. A candle whose scent reminds you of your best memories. A small stone or crystal you once picked up on a favorite walk. A framed note from someone you love. Or a book you return to in hard times. Bring softness into the space. Fabrics that feel nurturing. Lighting that soothes rather than stimulates. Perhaps even a tactile object like a weighted plush or smooth worry stone beside the pillow. When you lie down, your surroundings should whisper, "You're safe here. You're held. you can let go. Another great tool in creating an effective nighttime ritual is sleep-focused meditation or reflection. Even just 5 minutes of stillness can gently shift your brainwave state towards relaxation. You don't have to clear your mind perfectly. Just focus on the present moment. A gentle sound, a calming phrase, or a memory that brings you peace. One I often use myself is, inhale calm, exhale worry. Just repeating that phrase softly, several times over, can be incredibly grounding. As part of this reflection, you might also try a labyrinth of thought. Keep a blank notebook and some colored pens or pencils by your bed. Instead of writing lists, simply draw. This isn't about artistic skill. It's about movement. You might start with a dot in the center and let your pen wander, creating lines, swirls, or shapes that represent the paths your thoughts are taking. Maybe you use different colors for different emotions or worries. This visual mapping of your inner landscape can be incredibly freeing. Once the lines are on the page, the thoughts often feel less tangled in your mind. It's like letting your subconscious sketch its own story, giving those restless thoughts a quiet, contained space to exist outside of you. Now, let's talk specifically about sound, one of the most powerful, yet still most often overlooked tools for welcoming sleep and calming anxiety. Your brain is constantly listening, even at night, picking up on every little noise. So the sounds that surround you as you drift off can either agitate or deeply soothe your nervous system. Here are some ambient layers to consider adding to your personal soundscape. Low-frequency tones, deep rumbling ambient drones, sustained bass notes can actually help to reduce your heart rate and invite a slower brain rhythm, easing you into a more relaxed state. Binaural beats. These are specific audio frequencies that, when listened to through headphones, can help guide your brainwaves towards states associated with sleep. Certain frequencies like theta, 4 to 7 hertz, and delta, 0.5 to 3 hertz, are especially effective for inducing relaxation and deeper sleep. Brown noise or pink noise. Unlike the harsher, static-like quality of white noise, brown and pink noise offer deeper, more natural sound curves that many people find more comforting. Brown noise, with its low, rumbling frequencies, sounds a bit like a distant waterfall or the constant whoosh of a heavy fan. It's grounding and steady, perfect for masking jarring background sounds and easing overstimulated minds. Pink noise, on the other hand, is slightly higher and more balanced across frequencies, often compared to gentle ocean waves, wind in the reeds of a pond, or steady rainfall on leaves, both smooth over distractions without feeling aggressive or sharp, offering a consistent sonic hug that lulls the nervous system toward calm. Nature sounds, sometimes referred to as green noise. Gentle nighttime snowfall ambiance, the steady sounds of a campfire in nighttime rainforest, or even distant muffled thunder can signal safety to your primal brain and help lower stress hormones like cortisol. And finally, music without lyrics. Minimalist compositions with slow tempos and warm tones. Think soft piano, gentle cello, or flowing synth pads, can cue sleep and bypass mental stimulation that lyrics might trigger. Experiment with layering these sounds. Maybe a deep pad combined with gentle rainfall and a slow piano melody, or perhaps a subtle fire crackles with distant, calming thunder. The goal is to let your subconscious know we're safe, we're still, we can finally rest. We've covered a lot tonight, from understanding why anxiety often peaks at night to exploring various powerful techniques like the Night's Offering, the Vessel of Release, grounding exercises, breath work, and tapping into your ancestral whisper. We've also discussed building calming bedtime rituals and curating your personal soundscape. The common thread in all of this is finding ways to gently acknowledge your thoughts and feelings and then intentionally create space for peace and rest. Now, if you've tried these rituals, focused on reflection, practiced breathwork, and sleep still feels elusive due to anxiety, please know this: you are not alone, and there's nothing wrong with you for feeling this way. Sometimes, the best next step for deeper healing and lasting peace is reaching out for professional support. Whether it's a licensed therapist, a sleep specialist, or a certified support group, seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a profound act of wisdom and courage. Sleep is fundamental to our well-being, our health, and our ability to thrive. Your well-being matters, and there are people who can help. Ultimately, please prioritize your peace. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me tonight on Dusk and Dreams. I truly hope this episode offered some comfort, clarity, or maybe even a new idea to weave into your evening rituals. Remember, you're not alone on these restless nights. Together, we're learning how to gently quiet the mind, tend the soul, and welcome the dark, not as a threat, but as a sacred space for restoration. If something we talked about tonight resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Please feel free to share your reflections, your routines, or even the soundtrack of your sleep. And while next Tuesday, we return for another gentle conversation under the stars, first this Friday, I return as Wild Dragons, your myth-slinging, shadow-hunting guide through the wilder, darker folds of the night. We'll be following claw prints through ancient forests, unraveling the eerie pull of the full moon, and exploring the wild, blood-streaked lore of werewolves and other shapeshifters who stalk the sleeping hours. From the ancient Volkudlak of Eastern Europe to the mysterious Nahual of Mesoamerica, we'll ask, what do these creatures truly reveal about our fears, our primal instincts, and maybe even ourselves? So, adventurer, light a candle, lock your doors, and get ready for a night where instinct reigns, and the line between human and beast grows razor thin. It's been a privilege to guide you through another night on Dusk and Dreams. If this podcast helps you find peace, spark creativity, or simply offers a moment of captivating escape, please consider following or subscribing wherever you listen. Your support helps us build this community of night-minded souls. We're available on all major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon, as well as many others. To learn more about the show or connect with me, visit breakgrid.com or follow me at Yarrow Diamond on Instagram. Thank you again for listening. Until we meet again, remember, the night listens back.